Alright, today I'm going to be giving you guys an updated price action video to see are we more bullish or not, and what I'm looking at right now, because obviously this is not Bitcoin. This is the XRP price chart, and we are seeing XRP for some reason decorrelate from the rest of the market and absolutely start to skyrocket. And I believe this is news driven because they finally did end their lawsuit. I haven't done too much research on this news as far as what it all entails, but yes, I believe since that is all settled, it has given this chart some clear skies to the upside and why we're seeing this big price movement here. And what's cool is that I can actually check the order flow on XRP so we can see, is this a short squeeze or is this actual buying pressure pushing up price? And if we go over here to trading light, we can go over to Binance USD pair and then go ahead and pull up the XRP futures chart. And as you can see, with this move up, open interest has been increasing, meaning that buyers are absolutely stepping in on XRP. It is not just a short squeeze, and I do think this could be an indication that other altcoins are about to follow this same momentum, that you could see a shift in the market right now. We might be at a time where Bitcoin dominance actually starts to fall. We could have actually had more of a shakeout before the breakout, and I know unemployment's really bad. I know there's macroeconomic factors that are very scary, but this was actually shared with me over in the VIP Discord, is that a possible reason jobs numbers were down in July is just because of weather events. We had the hurricane coming through the Gulf of Mexico, and potentially with all of these people not at work due to weather, maybe they just weren't employing people also due to weather. So that's something to take note of, right? Maybe our last jobs report was kind of thrown off. I do think it was a spike out of the norm, and I did expect a reversal to the mean. And we can see the full jobs report here does talk about Hurricane Beryl, and this does clarify that that was not the reason for the employment numbers. So the Fed is stating that wasn't the reason for it. And if you read down to the actual statistics of who was unemployed, it was mostly in this information section right here. So yeah, if it was a hurricane, why would the information section be losing jobs? Because those are mostly people that work from the office, work from home. That's going to be more cybersecurity, programming, potentially entertainment. Really anything online I think is going to fall under that information sector of the jobs report. So what could be another reason for that unemployment loss? And that would be artificial intelligence. So maybe artificial intelligence has taken jobs from that information sector, because that is definitely what it would be impacting right now. So once again, we're kind of in uncharted territory when it comes to this. Is it going to boost the economy because businesses are now more profitable, or is it going to hinder the economy because there are more people unemployed? But that's kind of speculation on why there was a job loss. Potentially it was this Hurricane Beryl, as well as if we click this link over here, this covers more about the potential loss of jobs due to weather. And you do see this massive spike in July due to the hurricane. So just wanted to relay that information to you guys. Does it mean anything conclusive? Absolutely not. But I would not be surprised at all if that data was thrown off and our next month's numbers are actually going to come in surprisingly good, and it could throw the market into full-on bullish momentum once again, squeezing all of those shorts that have been being opened at the lows, and all of those people that sold the lows could potentially have to buy back in. And we will have more evidence to support that claim tomorrow with unemployment claims. This is going to be data that will be forecasting the next unemployment rate. So assuming this can come in at or below expectation, I think the market's going to react very, very nicely to that data. So back to XRP, I know we're getting kind of sidetracked here. Let's talk about this buying pressure, why I think it is very bullish for markets. Overall, if the market was truly bearish, we would probably not see this much buy volume being pushed into XRP right now. You can see on volume, we have absolutely shot up here on the day, showing that there are lots of market participants looking to actually push up price at these levels. They're not as scared as you might believe with some of the data coming out. If we truly were about to fall into the next Great Depression 2.0, I don't think you would see this much volume coming in on risk on assets. But that's not to say that yesterday's video was invalidated at all. If anything, I think it actually supports that video, because I do think we're going to have one more push up, and then we would actually enter those dark times here soon to come, but not quite yet. And I do believe Bitcoin is starting to find its footing, and this pullback right here was certainly expected because we just had a lot of sell volume over here on trading light. You can see thousands and thousands of Bitcoin absorbing these late longers in the market. A pullback here was expected, so a momentary pullback here made a lot of sense, and the pullback might not be over. I actually would not be surprised at all to come all the way back down to this golden pocket region. I'm looking to potentially scoop up some long positions down in here if we do get lower down, but I'm not going to be putting any blind limits because, as I stated in previous videos, the sweep of the sweep is still very possible. But overall, you can probably tell I'm pretty bullish when it comes to the crypto markets, and I do like what I'm seeing across the board, you know, with something like XRP running, with Bitcoin finding a nice footing within here. I would expect to, you know, go test through these higher levels, to go test that CME gap at around 59.5 to 62.5 that we have been talking about. If we do go ahead and retest this, we're going to be above support, and that could flip into support, and we could go ahead and make that all-time high before the final top does come in, or potentially even go into a super cycle. I'm now actually seeing the vision for the 4-year cycle theorist out there that do believe it's going to happen just like it always has. We are seeing stuff that's similar on the charts to, let's just say, 2019 bear market rally. A lot of altcoins acted like they did back in 2019, and we had monetary policy that was somewhat similar. So there's definitely the chance we are more aligned with this 2019 bear market, and we are still just capitulating those positions before the actual rally does begin. Potentially, we just had this right here. You can see, you know, back in 2019, we also had a similar sort of descending channel within here that we did deviate to the downside, reclaim, and that was the start of the bull market right there. So I do think this is something that could be fractaling somewhat similarly, right? If we go ahead and pull this same flag up to current price, you can see very similar sort of price action happening here on the charts. But is it going to play out just like it did in 2019, or are we going to have a bit of a fake out? In my opinion, if we do break out to the upside, people are going to be looking at the 2019 fractal and saying, this is it, we're going on to the mega bull run. This is where we're going to break out and go to 6 figures. Plus, I think this would be more or less a swing failure, and we'd actually enter the bear market at that point. But I do see the case for both, and of course, a lot of speculation going on right now, just basing patterns off of 2019. And all of this bullish sentiment you're hearing from me in today's video is just from the Bitcoin price action and the crypto market as a whole, and not necessarily what I'm seeing on the Russell or the S&P, which of course is the main correlation for crypto. And what we're seeing over here on the S&P does look kind of scary. So let's go ahead and flip the sentiment. We're going to get bearish now because the S&P has gone ahead and clearly rejected this CME gap, and we are starting to head down now, and we might be starting to hunt a lower CME gap below the low. So let's see if this can hold. If we do go down here, this would be kind of my last line of support. We had looked at fractals of 2007, and in that double topping structure that we had talked about, we don't see this low get taken out. We do see it come down pretty close to it though. So I would say that would be acceptable, but we don't want to be losing this level right here on the charts. And if we go ahead and simply pull fibs, are we holding what we need to hold on the fibs? And yes, we are, but we are right within that golden pocket where we should be finding strength, and we are not quite finding strength. Let's make sure we can hold this, and we can go up for that secondary high. And I do think that is very feasible, especially on the S&P. We don't have a ton of resistance above us, but something even more bearish than what I'm seeing here is that on the Russell 2K, we have started to lose those points of control and flip them into resistance. This looks pretty bad for the Russell. We really wanted to see us backtest this as support, and for us to get back above the value area high. We really did not want to be re-accepting this range that we had been in. That's not very good for our risk on assets. Now, I will say we're still holding the bottom side of these points of control, so we could still find support within here. We haven't lost all hope yet. We could definitely get back above and backtest this as support. We could still find good support in the value area low and head all the way back up, but we got to be keeping a close eye on the Russell here because structurally this has now started to flip more bearish. We really want this area right within here to start holding as support so we can get back above. We can start retracing back up into these vectors and then getting back above into this previous range, reclaiming that value area low, and then getting potentially back up into price discovery, which is where you will see a massive altcoin season. If the Russell does not break out, I don't think you're going to see any massive altcoin season outside of maybe some particular coins like XRP or some others that have their own individual catalyst. But let's finish off with Bitcoin round tripping it back to a bearish scenario because I was real bullish at the beginning of this video, talked about some critical things we're seeing in the stock market, and now I want to talk about some critical things we're seeing on the Bitcoin price action, because it is not all happy days at all. We have no confirmation of the reclaim of the range. If anything, we actually rejected it and are on the more bearish side of probabilities just based off of what the levels say. And what am I talking about? Well, it is this purple dashed line that we have right here on the chart. This is what I have identified as the value area low of this range within here. This is a fixed range value area low of this within here, and I do believe if we cannot reclaim this value area low, that it would not be a good sign for us at all. Could we have a golden pocket retracement back down and then come up and test that value area low? Yeah, absolutely. We still got plenty of time on our weekly candle left. We got 4 days. I would say I want this to close above by the end of this weekly candle, if not by the end of next week's candle. So we got a couple weeks left till I would be super worried about it. So nothing really on the immediate that we have to worry about, but certainly because it does appear that the day might close below here unless we can get back above within the next 2 hours. I definitely think we could get back above within the next 2 hours as well. So when this video does come out, go ahead and check the price chart, see if we are above 56,150. If we are, that's going to be looking really good. If not, let's see if we can just get back above it within the next coming days, because this is your worst case scenario. If we are truly bearish, this is where we would reject. But if we can get back above this, if we can reclaim it as support, then yes, you're going for the CME gap. And once you're in the CME gap, you're going to be accepting the quarterly value area low as well, and potentially could flip that into support. And if you can get above the CME gap after backtesting that point of control, then you're going to be above more of the macro range point of control that comes in around 64,500. And once you get back above that, I do think at that point the squeeze to all-time highs is pretty much a guarantee. But we got a lot of resistance above us. We got a lot of levels to get through. So until we can do so, I cannot be confidently bullish on the charts. We got to be staying very, very critical in times like this when we do have uncertain economic data and are in completely uncharted territories when it does come to Bitcoin. But if you do have any questions about anything I talked about, or just want to join the community for this channel, link to my Discord is in the description down below. And below that link is a VIP Discord specifically for leveraged trading. Check that out. And if you do think it's worth your money, make sure to use code EAGLE for 50% off for your first month. Also down in the description below, you will see a bunch of links for my exchange partners that all offer their own individual perks. So definitely check those out as well. I do have limited time events exclusive for Bing X and Weeks. So if you want to earn yourself some awesome rewards on some great exchanges, don't miss out on that. And with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.